Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a very special Starseed Oracle card reading. And the reason why, because I just got a couple of new decks from my best friend and soul sister Monica. I know I've mentioned her on the channel before. She has been with me since the very start of this crazy journey, way before. We've been friends for over a decade. She is my much loved soul sister and best friend. I'm very grateful for her. She gifted me the Beyond Lemuria deck. And this just came the Soul Truth Self-Awareness card, so I'm very excited. Now, I have a very special connection to Beyond Lemuria. This is why I have both of the Lemurian decks. This I got around the summertime, I think, maybe before spring, something like that. But very excited to finally use that in a reading as well. Most of us who do identify as starseeds, and remember that we're all everything. That's how connected we are. That's the unity consciousness. We're all everything. But when we identify as starseeds, we're really identifying as coming from Atlantis or having had lifetimes in Atlantis and Lemuria, and Lemuria. Um, and for me, I have had experiences in both, lifetimes in both, but I had a very strong visual in meditation one day of my divine counterpart and I in Lemuria. I have had a very strong connection to Atlantis and Lemuria for a very long time, but that just started coming through, I want to say within the past year or so. And then the star seeds as well, especially Andromedan energy, connecting with that since I want to say last summer, last spring, not this one that just passed, but over a year ago, Andromedan energy started coming through. And that was confirmed later with another reader who I'm going to be using her deck as well. This is a Starseed Oracle deck by Bridget Rao of Divine Essentials. There are very few readers that I connect with anymore. Very few readers I consider mentors. Bridget is absolutely one of them. I absolutely connect with her and resonate with her on a very personal level, on a very spiritual level. And just she has been a guiding light for me. Her channel has been a guiding light for me on this journey to understanding more about my starseed origins, how I'm connecting to the Andromedans and my starseed origins, and even my past lifetimes. She has confirmed for me. Very, very grateful for that because otherwise I would still be doubting myself, as we tend to do. But this is her Oracle deck that I have, so I highly recommend Bridget. If you have not been introduced to her already, she is wonderful. She is a great channel, so I highly recommend her. Okay, so what we're going to do today, I tried doing this reading before, but I was pulled back from it, and I think the messages were actually meant for a client because it came through in a past life reading. Very powerfully as well. But we're going to try this again, and I don't know what's going to happen. What I'm just going to do, I just pulled some decks, the new deck Beyond Lemuria, my new deck Soul Truth Self-Awareness cards, the Lemurian Star Child deck, which I have not used on the channel before, and the Starseed Oracle along with Bridget's deck. I'm going to use all of this, and we're going to see what comes through. We're just going to pull some cards and see what messages come through. I have no idea how this is going to play out, but we will find out together. This is going to be an experiment for all of us. If you guys know, I have been channeling, especially over the past year, a lot of higher level ascension energy, a lot of higher level topics. We've been talking about starseeds, we've been talking about dragons, we've been talking about the past, especially for those clients I do past life readings for. A lot of higher level, higher consciousness energy coming through, especially in the channeled messages that I do, the Ascension messages. We talk about that in the October update. We talk about that in, the Welcoming in New Earth. You guys have emailed me letting me know how much that's resonating for you. So, I am a very open channel. This is not just for the relationships. This is about soul growth, and that's the journey that we're on. And relationships are part of that. For those that I channel for, especially for this collective on my YouTube channel here, it is for sacred partners on the path to ascension. That's my experience, and so that is therefore what I'm channeling. But it goes way beyond that. It goes, to your very self, about your very self. It's about your origins. It's about your soul growth. It's about calling all those pieces back that make you whole within yourself. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be just opening this up to spirit and seeing what do they have to say to us on this journey of ascension. What do we need to know at this time? We'll just see what comes in. This is going to hopefully be a quick reading, so we'll just see what comes in. Okay, so let's get an overall energy. We have healer. Your mission is to heal self and others. So this is what we're doing on this journey. We are healing ourselves. We are healing others. We are natural healers. But this is what we talk a lot about on this channel. It's not just about what it is that you do. It's about who you are, the very essence of your soul. That is what is healing because of the light that you're bringing in, the light that you're anchoring in. We're not just shifting the paradigm and the vibrations of this planet, but you're shifting the very essence of who you are, the core of who you are, the patterning, the programming, the conditioning. And as you do that, as you rise into that light and that soul of who you are, what you're doing is you are expanding in love, opening up that heart. And as you do that, you just create worlds. You create a whole new world. They're reminding me of this. They're reminding me of a long time ago. What they had told me was the more you expand in love in that light and you focus on the positive, you focus on the highest potential outcome that you want to manifest rather than the lower density energies of victimhood and, power and greed and negativity, all that dense energy. The more you raise your vibration and focus on those high vibrations of joy and love and laughter and friendship, the more you do that, all those timelines that were created, because you have infinite timelines that are created from your present moment, from this point here. And I don't know what I did with my pyramids, but you have this present moment, this point here. And from this present moment, you have an infinite number of timelines. Well, what they had shown me is you have both negative and positive timelines if you are in a lower vibration, because you can always choose to shift into a higher timeline, or you can follow along that lower vibrational timeline. But the more you shift out of lower vibration, the more you shift into that higher vibration of love, of light, of just a higher consciousness within the soul self, the recognition of Christ consciousness or unity consciousness with all. Once you do that, those negative low vibrational timelines fall away, and all that's left is higher timelines. So that no matter what, you're moving into an energy of manifestation and abundance. You're moving into an energy of your creation, because everything is your creation. That is your point of power. Your point of power is you get to manifest whatever it is you wish to manifest. But you can manifest from a lower vibration, which invites in more dense reality, a lower reality, a lower sense of reality. That's that lack mindset, scarcity mindset, fear-oriented realities. Or you can usher in one of higher vibration, a vibration of love, timelines of love. And so when you're in that higher consciousness, when you're in that higher vibration, all the timelines are associated with love, and anything of a negative vibration falls away. That's your choice. And so any direction that you go is of a higher vibration. Anything that you choose then from that step forward in that higher vibration maintains in a higher vibration, because things that are emotion stay in motion. So the more you're in that higher consciousness, that higher frequency, that higher vibration, you stay in that higher vibration. And you're healing from that point of reference. When you're in that high vibration, that higher consciousness, you're helping to heal not just your timeline, but others' timelines as well, because you're helping others to raise up out of their negative energy, out of their lower consciousness, out of their ego. Because you are not just talking the talk, but you're walking the walk. You are embodying your sacred self. You're being a healer just by the essence of who you are, just by the love of who you are, and by expanding and extending that love out to others. We talk about this a lot. The Three of Cups energy for me is the union energy. It's because you have that one cup that's filled up. that self-love, you fill up that cup on self-love, and it overflows so that you're able to offer that love to another person, and that person's able to offer that love to you, so you have the two of cups offering love to each other, and then it spills into the third, creating that trinity energy. You, divine masculine, and you, and source energy itself. And what happens when that water pours into that third cup is it completely merges, it completely becomes one. Because unlike oil and water, which separates, water and water just becomes mixed, it just becomes merged, it becomes one. And that trinity energy merges into this circle, this beautiful circle of infinite love. And what happens is that love just expands and grows even more and spills out to ripple out to affect the entire world. And not just this world, but the entire cosmos. That is how strong your love is within yourself and with your sacred partner. And that love is so powerful that it not only creates worlds, but it heals fractured worlds. Fracture within the self, and worlds that have been fractured and torn apart in time. Time being non-linear. The past is happening now. The future is happening now. It's all happening at one. We are multidimensional beings. But this is what you're doing. Your love, by healing yourself and loving yourself, you heal all those pieces of yourself, all those past lifetimes, all those potential lifetimes, so that it all brings back or merges back or converges back onto the now moment being love, choosing love. Whew, okay. Let's see where we're going with this. So this is the Beyond Lemuria deck, and I'm so excited to use this. Let's just do a quick look at these cards. Look at the images in these cards. It's pretty amazing, huh? And there's the pyramid. See? Everything merges on that one point in time. And your present moment has the ability to heal the past and your future potential timelines. Okay, I'm going to get a couple of... I feel like this reading is one of those, and now for something completely different, because it is a little bit different from what we normally do, but I think that's exciting too. We'll be back next week with recorded dailies. I am taking a little bit of vacation. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do a collective reading. I'm going away, so I'm going to try to do a collective reading before I go away. We'll see what I get done over the weekend. I'm catching up on finishing client readings, and then we'll see. So make sure that you guys subscribe so that you don't miss anything. Also follow me on Instagram and Facebook so you don't miss any postings on there. Okay, Spirit, what do you have to say for this energy? What's coming into this energy? Just open channel. Open channel, open heart. Need us to know. Beyond the mind. I love it. This is a great reminder because, okay, what they're bringing in is, it is not just the mind, it is the balance of the mind and the heart. The balance of the mind, body, spirit, balance of the soul self. And what you're doing is you're recognizing on this journey how powerful the mind is to create your reality. How powerful the mind is to raise your vibration and raise your consciousness. And a shift in dimension, when we talk about ascension, when we talk about ascending from 3D to 4D to 5D and above, it's not about a physical plane of existence. It's about the mind, it's about the consciousness. Dimensions are all about consciousness. And what you'll find is when you shift in consciousness, your physical reality then changes. Your physical plane then changes to reflect that. But it's not the other way around. It's not that your physical reality changes and then you realize that you're in a higher level of consciousness. It's reverse. Because as within, so without. There is nothing without you that you don't already hold within you. And so with this higher level of consciousness, as you raise in consciousness and your vibration, choosing those higher timelines, embodying those higher timelines, what you're actually doing is shifting your mindset, shifting your patterns, your programming, removing any of that programming and societal conditioning, addictions, habits, beliefs that you were taught, past lifetime heartbreak and trauma, anything that is essentially keeping you held down into forgetting or losing who you truly are. And who you truly are is love and light. That is not something that is just new age hogwash. That is something that is truth. That is the very fabric of this creation, of this universe. You are light. You are made of light. And you are soul. And anything else just keeps you in this dense energy. But the more you ascend, the more you raise in consciousness, the more you recognize that. And the more you feel that. You feel the change as you go through this deep as you go through this deep clearing, this deep healing, as you go through this process of inner evolution, by which I mean transformation, by which I mean this ascension process, clearing out all that soul sludge, clearing out all that dense energy, all that programming, all that patterning, all that trauma, anything that's keeping you in that energy of not recognizing your very self, your soul self. As you clear that out and raise in consciousness, you recognize more abundance. You invite in more prosperity. You invite in more love and harmony and balance within relationships and dynamics, because you're inviting that in within yourself. And because you're inviting that in within yourself, you're seeing that displayed in your outside world. And you recognize this. You start to see this. The fear, the control, the power that we had lived under, you're no longer affected by it. You can see that in your family dynamics. You can see that in your relationships. You can see that in society at large around you. How you're not reactionary. How you're at this place of neutrality. You're at this place of balance. You're at this place of peace and love within yourself. And so that peace and love reflects out to everyone around you. That is unity consciousness. That is what we're shifting into. It starts in the mind and it goes beyond the mind. It starts in the heart, the balancing of the mind and the heart, balancing of the human self and the spiritual self. That's what we're doing. We are bridging the two. That's what they mean by bringing that template down. Because we are experiencing now what it's like to live in our physical embodiment in a higher level of consciousness. And that is what Lemuria and Atlantis was all about before it became fractured, before it fell apart. They were living in that higher level of consciousness. They were embodying that in the physical. But then that consciousness fell and shifted into lower frequency, shifted into lower vibration, lower density. But that's where we're ascending. And the more we go within ourselves, the more we heal within ourselves, the more we shift in consciousness. And the more we shift in consciousness, the more that ripples out to help us heal all. And that is how we are changing the collective energy as well to one of more peace. And I know things seem really chaotic on the surface. I know things in the world at large seem very fearful, but we're actually clearing all of that energy out. And the more people who help to heal themselves and ascend and shift in consciousness, shift into love vibration, the more that ripple effect creates a change within the collective. And look at all the colors of this card. This is higher consciousness. The feminine energy rising, the feminine energy rooted in the higher level chakras, the throat chakra, the brow chakra, the crown chakra. That's that feminine energy that is rising. And we have both feminine and masculine energies within us. We're balancing out both feminine and masculine energies within us. But the feminine energy had been so suppressed that we had forgotten that. And so now the feminine energy is rising. This is not gender. This is not females versus males, males versus females. This is all about energy. And even in males, the feminine energy is learning how to rise again, learning how to express themselves, learning how to connect to themselves and their intuition and to source energy. Learning how to connect back to love and open up their hearts. And the more we all do this, the more the collective as a whole changes, and the more the collective consciousness as a whole changes, the more our physical reality will reflect that. Even among the chaos that we're seeing in our outside world, we are seeing some unity. We are seeing some coming together. There are some divisions. There are factions. There are feelings of being fragmented from each other. But as a whole, when you stop looking at the surface layer, when you go within your heart and ask yourself, how do I actually feel about this person? Step away from the 3D human self. When you look at the soul of each other, you realize there is only love. And that's what we're getting back to. We're getting back to the love. We're getting back to recognizing the soul of each other, appreciating the soul of each other, and how we might have different views and experiences as a human self. But we're learning to identify first as the soul and then as a human individual, rather than as a human individual and then as the soul. We're learning to balance the two and bring that template down to embody the soul self. The more people who embody the soul self, the more we can be that unified energy. Wow, okay. I'm gonna get some starseed. Let's get some starseed cards. I just keep getting, they just keep saying a message of hope, a message of hope, a message of hope. My energy is a little bit drained today. I've done a lot of readings and a lot of self-healing, so I'm very tired. So you might not be able to hear it in my voice, and I hope that you do within the words. This is a message of hope. This is the energy that they're bringing forth. And so I do hope that you feel it, and I do hope that you hear it. Because that's what they're saying. All right. Spirit, what do you have to say to us at this time of ascension? What do you have to say to us at this time of ascension? It says, you got the love, and you're not for everyone. Okay. This feels like a new earth. Yeah. Okay. This is ascension energy that is coming in here. Some of you might be experiencing throughout your ascension process that people, places, things, mindsets, relationships might be fading away. It's just because you're ascending. It's just because you are leveling up in your ascension journey. And that's not to say that anybody's falling behind. Everybody's exactly where and when they're meant to be. You might not be for everyone at this time. There is a shift that is being created as new earth is being created and built. And we're walking through this door of ascension. We talked about December 21st being a very powerful energy, a very powerful portal opening up, where we are walking into new earth. And again, that new earth is a new vibration. And that new vibration is going to be felt by the collective. There are some people who are going to turn away from it. There are some people who are going to feel afraid. It just means that they're just not ready to ascend at that point in time, but they're still going through their own awakening and ascension process. Everybody, the earth is ascending at this time. As a whole, the earth is ascending, and everybody is going through the ascension process. For those who are not ready to go through that portal, that doorway, there will be other opportunities. That doorway, that portal, I'm hearing, is for the way showers, is for those who are leading the way, those who have reached a certain point in their ascension journey and are choosing to create from that high level of consciousness and that high vibration. It doesn't mean that anybody is far behind if they choose not to go through that portal, so to speak. if they choose not to ascend, if they choose not to live in that high vibration. It's just because there's more work to do. It's just they're exactly when and where they need to be, and Spirit is supporting them as well. That's really important to remember. There is no division here. There is no separation. That is a false illusion. That is a false belief. There is no separation because we are all connected through source energy. Whatever it is that you want to call it, God, Creator, the universe, we're all part of that same source energy. We are all brothers and sisters to each other. We are all aspects of each other, connected through love. And so there is no hierarchy, there is no superiority, there is no class when it comes to this person's going on ahead, this person's falling behind. There is none of that. All there is love. And everybody is healing through love and remembering the soul of themselves. Everybody is going through this ascension process, is raising in their consciousness. We're just at different levels of that. And so you might experience some people falling away from your experience. And that has nothing to do with you. It is not personal. It is just because that's where their vibrations are. And as you continue to ascend, you need people surrounding you who are matching that frequency. Because if you're at one vibration and somebody's at another vibration, again, this is not to create division. But if you're at one vibration, somebody's at another vibration, your vibration helps to lift them up, but their vibration might be pulling you down a little bit back into that dense energy. And so what happens is there is a fading away if your frequencies aren't matching just because you're not in alignment at that time. So allow that. We must, release that attachment to each other and allow ourselves to love each other unconditionally. Send love to that person, send healing to that person, and allow yourself to be unattached, so that you can continue on with your ascension, with your journey, with your soul growth. It says, face your true north, keep facing your north. Release anything that is holding you to anybody, because in essence, that's a codependency. And codependencies are just fears. Fears that if I release this person, I'm never going to see them again. Or I'm never going to be in a relationship with them again. Or, they're going to fade away from my reality. They might fade away in a sense of energetics. It doesn't mean that they have to fade away from your physical reality. It might all be energetics. This happens one of two ways. Sometimes people do fade away from your physical reality, and they can circle back around again. In other instances, it's all about energetics, where your actual dynamic changes and shifts in a positive direction because you might both be ascending. And because you're ascending and shifting within yourself, that person, as an aspect of yourself and as a mirror, might be doing the same. And so you might come into more harmony with that person. And so your relationship might change. Everything is possible here, but we have to just allow and let it unfold. You have to just keep allowing the love within yourself to keep expanding and not be in that fear. Okay. I'm going to keep going. I don't know how this is going. I have no idea how this is going. This is very different for me. I mean, it's not so different. This is basically what I do when I'm channeling for clients. We talk a lot about soul growth and soul self, and a lot of these concepts come in as well. But I don't know, this energy just feels different. I don't know if it's because I'm tired or what. It doesn't feel bad. I have no idea what I'm saying. I have no idea what I'm channeling. And that's new for me. I usually forget what I'm channeling at the very end. Not as I'm channeling, which is different. Okay. This is the Beyond Lemuria deck. So I'm just going to pull a card and just see what comes out. Spirit, what do you have to say for this ascension journey at this time? What do you have to say for this ascension journey at this time? Oh, that's a lot. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh my goodness, that's a lot. All right. These are very hard to shuffle. Okay. Awakening. Know who you are. DNA activation. Yes. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. This is confirmation. And they're calling me to the bottom of the deck. We have Lemurian Guide. It says, Sister, Friend, Teacher of Infinite Universal Love. This is that feminine energy that is rising. And you are being supported. You are being guided by your ancestors, spirit team, support council on the other side, who are helping you, those in that feminine energy who are helping you to awaken, who are helping you to arise into that feminine energy, that balance within yourself, to raise in that consciousness. And you raise in consciousness by balancing out the masculine and feminine energies within yourself. So what's happening here is there is Kundalini activations that you might be experiencing. Expansion of the crown chakras I'm also hearing that is happening. There is awakening happening for the collective on this planet and within yourself, a higher level of DNA activation, bringing in that light, bringing in that crystalline structure, changing your very DNA to be of more love, of more light, to allow in more love and more light. To allow in more of source energy is what I'm hearing as well. To open up to more of source energy, more of the infinite, more of that universal love. And so what's happening is it's happening in the collective and it's happening within you. And because it's happening within you, it's happening within the collective. Okay? I hope that makes sense. Okay. That's it for my new cards. But I feel like I'm going to pull a Keepers of the Light. See if there's anything else they want to say. We're just going to keep going with this energy for a little bit. Because I feel like there's more messages here. That's that awakening card. I felt like you guys were asking to see it. So there it is. Okay, so Spirit, what's happening on this ascension journey at this time? What's happening on this ascension journey at this time? Yes, okay. We have the great gathering, we have play, and we have the ever unfolding rose. This is the blossoming. This is the divine unfolding. It's just like once you open that door to new earth, like once you walk through that portal, we're always creating new earth. As we raise in our consciousness, new earth is happening right now. We are always creating new earth. Everybody who chooses from this point in time a positive timeline to focus on the love, you're creating new earth right here, right now. When we talk about portals, it's, in these energetic doorways, it's just for that collective energy to walk through as a collective. But we're individually always creating. And what they're showing me is a path unfolding. We are building and creating new earth. The higher we ascend, the more we clear out, the more we heal within ourselves, the more we raise in consciousness and shift our frequency. We are creating new earth at this very point in time, right here, right now. It is all happening, unfolding as we go. And that's really important to remember now. But that portal, that energy, that doorway, that is for the collective to walk through. That is for the collective to choose higher timeline for all. And the more we are all moving into love, the more we're all moving into higher consciousness as a collective, the more we can, as a collective, really shape the physical world in which we live. Reshape it, remold it, fashion it to one of abundance, one of more love, one of more light, one of more healing. Bringing in, bring back the technologies, bringing back the healing, bringing back the temples, bringing back the sacred spaces that are in the higher dimensions, available in the higher dimensions, in the higher planes. We're bringing that down and anchoring that into New Earth, but it's happening right here and right now because of you. Because you are paving the path with every intention that you set that is of a higher vibration, with every focus that is one to love, with every place within your heart that you allow your heart to expand and not shut down or block it off due to fear. You are paving the path right now to New Earth, creating New Earth as we speak. And we'll be anchoring that in and bringing that into our physical plane, our physical existence as a collective through the choices that we're making as a collective, the choices that are made in love. The Great Gathering being, it's all coming together, Soul Tribe, but this is giving me the energy of that collective energy. The Great Gathering, that's what this is. The more people who are healing themselves and awakened and ascending and choosing higher consciousness, the more we anchor that into this physical plane of existence and truly change the world from that fear-based into one that is love-based. Yeah, unbound. This is what we're doing. We are releasing the old, releasing the fear, releasing the patterns, releasing the conditions, releasing the control, and remembering the divinity within ourselves, that divinity being love. When I speak of love, when I speak of light, that is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the divinity within you, recognizing that you have power within yourself. You are powerful, more powerful than you know, because you are one with the universe, and nobody can take that away from you. You are one with God, with Creator, with the universe, with source energy that lives inside of you. And anybody who says that there's something outside of yourself that is controlling you, that's just control, that's just projection. Nothing can take that away from you, and that is what you're remembering. When we say that you're remembering love and light and soul, you're remembering your own divinity, you're remembering your own empowerment, you're remembering your own connection to yourself and to source. That's what this is. You're releasing anything that has made you forget that, made you forget your divinity, made you forget your worth, made you forget love and how loved you are in the eyes of source, how loved you are in the eyes of all. When we remove that human construct, when we remove all that 3D programming and what people want us to believe, that's where we use our own intuition. That's where we use our own discernment. We choose consciously to look through the lens of love. We choose consciously to look at the soul of each other. We choose consciously to embody that love. And yes, sometimes that human self gets in the way, the ego self gets in the way. Sometimes we might fall back, sometimes we might falter. But that's where we bring it to our awareness. And once we bring it to our awareness, that's where we have the choice to either choose love or choose fear. Keep falling back into fear. And that's when we bring it to our awareness, we choose love and move forward. Okay, with that, I feel like they're saying that we're ready. So I'm going to get a final message using this Soul Truth deck, which I used in a client reading today, and I really love it. So thank you to Monica for this. This is a beautiful gift. Both of these are beautiful gifts. All right, let's see what we have. All right, Spirit, what message of guidance do you have for this collective during this reading? Spirit, what message do you have for this collective during this reading? What message do you have for this collective during this reading, please, Spirit? What message do you have? What message do you have, please? What else could this mean? It says, there are always multiple ways to look at every situation. Our first reaction is usually rooted in our fears and limiting beliefs. Look at a situation today by stepping outside of the trigger and ask, what else could this mean? Is there something your soul is calling you to learn in this moment? Or is there a pattern that is ready to be broken? Walk in the other person's shoes and see it from their perspective. If it doesn't involve someone else, ask yourself, how is life happening for me right now? And what's interesting is on this card it says it's happening for you, not to you. How is life happening for me right now? How am I creating my reality? How am I living in a place of love rather than from a place of fear or past pain? Ask yourself, what could this mean for you? What choice do you have? And what are you choosing? Wow. All right, you guys, this is going to be it for today's Starseed Oracle reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll be back with some Sacred Union energy updates, hopefully over the weekend. If not, we'll have at least one next week, along with more daily energy updates. I'm sending you guys so much love, so much light. We'll see you soon. Bye.